Welcome to How to Start a Website 2.0. You can find the blog article that goes with this session at howtostartawebsite2.com/WP setup. Okay, welcome back. We are still going through the basic settings of our WordPress dashboard for 3.8 or higher. We're going to come along the left-hand side, hover over settings, and this time we're going to go over the discussion tab. So we're going to click on discussion. So here's everything that's available inside the discussion tab. It's a little bit lengthier than some of the other tabs that we've been in. So let's go through this step by step. So default article settings. Now, do you want to attempt to notify other blogs when you link to an article? What this means is, let's say you're on a particular page or post that you're creating for your website, and you want to include a link to somebody else's content on their website. If you check this box, your WordPress installation will attempt to notify them that you linked to them. I'm going to leave that unchecked since this is a practice site, but that's a choice you need to make. Do you want to allow link notifications from other blogs? So what this means is, let's say somebody comes to your website and they read a blog article that they really enjoyed so much that they go back to their website and they want to write an article that either goes further in depth or maybe fills in some information, but they want to refer readers back to you because you were their inspiration for what they wrote. Well, when they put that link in their blog post, what's called a pingback or a trackback will appear at the bottom of your blog post, letting your readers know as well that they wrote some additional information based on your blog post. So it's up to you. Do you want to allow those notifications to appear at the bottom of your blog post? If you don't, uncheck this. But it is a way to kind of give people a little bit of social proof that there's other people out there finding your content so interesting that they're resharing it. So, it's something to experiment with. As long as it's not getting abused, maybe you want to allow it. But if it's, starting to get kind of spammy in nature, maybe you want to turn it off. Again, it's up to you what you're comfortable with and what you feel like experimenting with. Now, do you want to allow people to post comments on your articles? This is a great way to get to know your readers, to interact with them and start discussions. And the only way you can do that is if you allow people to post comments. So I'm gonna actually I'll leave it on for now so that I can explain further settings down that's the page here. But if you don't want to allow people to make comments, you would uncheck that box. So now, other comment settings. If you're going to allow people to comment on your articles, do you want them to fill out their name and an email address? And if so, you would leave this checked. And as a further level of security, maybe you only want to allow people who are registered and logged into your website to be allowed to comment. So this would kind of make your website more of a closed community that only people that have taken that extra step of registering would then be allowed to comment. So if you want to leave it open to everybody who happens along your site, whether they register or not, you would leave this unchecked. So now, do you want your comments to close after a certain number of days by default? So let's say that you don't want to have to keep coming back to your old articles that are maybe several months old, or even maybe several years old. you can go in and you can say, okay, after X number of days, I don't want to have to go back and interact with people on those posts anymore. They're just too old. More than likely, maybe the content by that point is going to be out of date. So maybe it doesn't benefit you to leave your comments open. But if you feel your content is relatively green or you want that interaction no matter how old the article is, you can leave this unchecked, and whether that article is a day old or 10 years old, people would still be able to comment on it if they wanted to. Now, enable threaded nested comments X number of levels deep. So what this means is if somebody posts a comment, and let's say you come in and you want to reply directly to that comment, that your comment would then like nest under or be indented over a little bit directly underneath their comment. So you can see that it's a conversation that's going on. And let's say that person comes back and wants to reply to what you said on their comment and hit reply to you, that would nest under or indent a little bit further again. And you have the ability to decide, well, how many levels deep do you want that indenting to go before it would have to be a whole brand new comment thread. The default is 5, but maybe you want to increase it to 6, or maybe you want to reduce it to 3. I mean, you can go anywhere between 2 and 10. I'm going to leave the default at 5. So now, by the same token, let's say your article has become so popular that it's getting hundreds of comments on it. That could be a lot to scroll through, and maybe you want to break it up so there's only maybe 10 comments per page or 20 comments per page. Again, you can step it through and make the increment whatever you want it to be, but you would have to check this box, and then it would break into pages. And then you also have the ability to say, well, do you want the last page of comments to display first, or do you want the first page of comments to display first? And you can change that as well. And then you come down, and do you want the older comments on top, or do you want your newer comments on top? Again, this is all like personal preference. And you've probably, if you've spent any time going around and commenting on other people's blogs, you've probably noticed that sometimes the newest comment's on top, sometimes the oldest one is on top. And that's, which one did you like better? And you can set yours up accordingly. Again, check this box if you want to use everything that we just talked about right here. So let's come down to email me whenever. So brand new blog, if you're brand new to starting this, you're going to want to know when somebody new comments. You're also going to want to know if for some reason your comment got held for moderation. Maybe you have a spam detector set up and WordPress thinks that this comment might be spam, so it's holding it for moderation. Or you can even say yourself, when we come down here before a comment appears, maybe we're just going to tell WordPress, well, I must manually approve anything before it shows up. Well, that means everything's going to get held for moderation. So do you want to be sent an email so that there's something here waiting for you? Or maybe you're just going to say, okay, once a day, or once a week, or however often is right for you, you're going to come in and you're just going to check these and you're just going to do them all at once. Maybe you want to uncheck these so your inbox is not getting clogged up with notifications. And trust me, if your site's been around for a while and you're getting really popular and you're getting hundreds of comments a day, you're going to want to turn these off anyway, because you're going to be inundated with notifications. So check them, uncheck them. That is a personal choice. Usually, like I said, brand new website owner usually leaves them checked because they get a kick out of knowing somebody was interested enough to leave a comment. Now, before a comment appears, do you want that extra layer of protection that nothing appears unless you see what it is, see if it's appropriate and then you can release it to the site yourself if the comment is fine. If that's what you want to have happen, check that box. Or you can maybe just say, well, if the author has had one previously approved comment, anything that they put on the site from here on out will probably be okay, and then you can have it set up that way. You only have to approve the first one, and then the rest will go on automatically. So now, comment moderation. Hold a comment in the queue if it contains X or more links. I take this right down to one link. If somebody puts a link in the body of their comment, more than likely it's going to be spam. So you're going to want to take a look at that and see what they're linking to before you allow the comment to appear on your website. You can also come down to this big white box, and maybe there's certain names or URL addresses or email or IP addresses that have been a problem in the past, and you can put all of those in here. One word or IP per line, and then WordPress will use this information to hold comments for spam or for moderation if anything that you put in here shows up in their comment. You also have the ability to create a comment blacklist, and again, for every line you can put in specific content, a name, a URL, email, or IP, and it will be marked as spam. And now we come down to avatars. So avatars are what show up next to the commenter's name and personal information. This gets set up through Gravatar, which is also a WordPress held application. And if somebody has created a Gravatar with their email address and put in an image, when they come to your website and use their name and their email address, that image will then appear next to their information in your comment section. Now, if they haven't done that, what do you want to have show? And I'm kind of jumping the gun here because, first of all, if you don't want to use avatars at all, you can uncheck this box, and then you don't have to worry about any of this other stuff. But if you would like to be able to see the little pictures of the people that are commenting, leave this checked. Now, in the whole Gravatar setup, people can put in different images for different ratings, and they kind of use this the same way as you would for a movie rating. G being suitable for all audiences, rated PG, rated R, rated X. You can decide what image is suitable for the readers on your site to see. I always leave it at G. You never know when you're going to get a little kid stumbling on your site, so I leave it at G and make sure that the images that show up for people are suitable for all audiences. But to get back to where I was when I was jumping the gun, what if the person doesn't have an account with Gravatar? They put in their name and their email address. Well, what's going to show up beside their name if they don't have an image to pull? And that's when you can go through and you can select what you want to show up. I usually leave it on Mystery Man only because the blank usually looks like there's something wrong with your formatting when there isn't. Or even the Gravatar logo itself is pretty professional looking. Once you get down into these, I don't know, these always looked pretty childish to me. So I either stuck with the Gravatar logo or Mystery Man. And then that's it. We're at the bottom of the page, and we can click Save Changes to keep all the information that we changed on this page. So that's it for the discussion settings, and in the next video we will go over media. Thank you for watching and listening to another session from How to Start a Website 2.0. This episode is just one of many available inside my online course. Register for free today at howtostartawebsite2.com/thevault.